Child support in New York State is determined by a formula. Parents have the option of opting out of the formula if they have a better idea and they can agree on it. But if a court is going to make a child support determination, they're going to do it based on the formula. The formula takes into account how many children you have and how much income you have. There is a cap up to which a court must apply the child support formula and the court has the option to go above the cap and apply the formula up to the entire combined parental income. If there is a lot of income, then a court won't do that. So there is more of an informal cap county to county as to how high the courts are likely to go given the circumstances of the family. How do they determine what the cap is and what it should be? It's really based on the needs of the children. At least that's what the statute says. And the needs of the children is based on the lifestyle, the cost of the lifestyle. If you live in a very expensive town, or the children only eat organic food, or whatever it is, the court is going to take a look. It's basically a top-down and a bottom-up approach. Top-down, it's a formula. The court looks down at the situation and says, how many kids, how much money, how much does each person make, and bottom-up. What should the cap be based on the needs of this family? What are the costs and expenses of these kids' lifestyle? Child support not only can be modified, but it's absolutely certain to be modified because the children are going to grow up and what's called emancipate. How can they emancipate? Well, in New York, it's the age of 21, although we often, by contract, extend that to the age of 22. Get married, join the military or the Peace Corps, or turn 18 and decide they want to get a job and become self-supporting. So one thing is certain, that child support is going to end. Another thing that might happen is inflation. There might be a cost of living adjustment that goes into the child support formula. And if a judge makes a decision about child support, then that's going to be built into the order awarding the child support. It could be that children change homes or the living situation changes, and it needs to be renegotiated based on the living arrangements and the custody arrangement of the family. And again, it can be changed on the occurrence of a substantial change in circumstances. So what is a substantial change in circumstances? Well, it could mean that somebody gets a much better job. It could be that somebody loses a job. It could be that it turns out that the children have a special need that wasn't previously addressed by the custody award. You have a young child and one child support situation seems to make sense, and then it turns out they have severe learning disabilities, or they develop a physical illness, or an incredible talent for something, and now maybe that child's needs aren't being adequately met by the previous child support order. It's important to note that child support is deemed in New York to be the right of the child. So even though it's paid from one parent to the other, it's for the child's benefit. Any modification is focused on that child or those children, not on the recipient parent. If child support payments are missed in New York, it's possible to get payment through something called the support collection unit that will essentially garnish the income of the paying spouse and make sure that a regular payment is made. If that's not enough, there are a lot of remedies available to the courts to penalize a parent who's not paying. There could be revocation of their driver's license, could be jail time. It could be jail time on the weekends. There are community service. None of these things really do anything to actually get the money from that person. So that is kind of a challenge, but it's really quite punitive, and many people try to avoid that at all costs. If you have any questions about child support, how it might work in your situation, and how it works in New York, please do not hesitate to contact us at Miller Law.